91.3 WVKR Independent Radio, Poughkeepsie, New York. It's 4 o'clock on the news. Thank you to Frank for a wonderful 2 hours of vinyl triumph. And here's some really good news for you LocalMotion listeners. Frank will be covering for me the next 2 weeks because I'm taking a little break as I typically do at the end of the year, taking 2 weeks off, and then we'll be back. And then you will have 4 hours of Frank every Wednesday for the next 2 weeks from 2 to 6 p.m. He'll be covering for LocalMotion, and you will not be disappointed. As a matter of fact, you might love it way more than LocalMotion. Give it a try. We'll see. But I do want to say thank you to Frank for covering the next 2 weeks. He always plays really cool music. You are tuned into LocalMotion. This show is all about music of the Hudson Valley, musicians that live here, those that come to perform in our area venues, as well as those coming to record in our world-class area recording studios. Show number 302 for me today on these airwaves. Always a pleasure being here. Thanks, everybody, tuning in, perhaps online at wvkr.org or perhaps on TuneIn Radio. However it is you're here, thank you for being here. And needless to say, we really haven't had any in-studio guests here. We do broadcast live from the beautiful campus of Vassar College, and it's been since March 2020 since I've had any guests in studio with me. And today we're going to end LocalMotion's 2021 year with my daughter. Hi, Caroline.
Hi.
Hey.
Oh my gosh. So happy to be here.
I'm so happy to have you here. It's so nice to actually, because normally I get a phone call, and it's like I can actually see a person sitting across the desk from me.
Right.
It's the first time in so long. And it's you, the person I love most on the planet.
Oh my gosh.
So
thank you for having me.
Well, of course. Oh my God. And we really didn't think much about it. We kind of just put it together. I was like, oh wait, she's home from college. You want to be on the show? Sure. So here we kind of do these things every once in a while. Caroline has been on the show before. Caroline is a senior at Ithaca College. She is a violinist. She's a double major and double and a half major, if there's such things. She is a music performance major. She's the violinist, and she also has a major in economics, and she's taking a minor currently in art history. So that's a lot of stuff, Caroline.
Oh my God, such a mouthful.
It is a mouthful. 21 credits this past semester?
Yeah, 21 credits.
21
Same for next semester.
Yeah.
But I can't complain because I do it to myself at this point, It's just I love the grind,
Yeah. Well, it's a really good thing to do. And I want to say that I'll start off the show with something that I've been doing since October. And then we'll just keep talking in between. This show today, we're going to play all new music that was sent this year from Hudson Valley musicians. I used to do a top 10 list, and then I realized how absolutely idiotic that is. Because that's only my opinion, and that leaves out so much good music. So while we have a huge ton of playlists today, we won't get to it all. That I know. But everything we are playing today, for the exception of this first track, is new music by musicians released this year that are living here or coming here to perform in the Hudson Valley. So what I want to do is start out by doing the first song, and then you and I come back and talk, Caroline. And we'll learn more about some classical music because you're being classically trained. So what I want to do is I start off the show, each and every show, since the passing of Tony Falco. And Tony left us with this world-class venue, the Falcon, in Marlborough, New York. And he also left this playlist, and it's on Spotify, and it's called Cool, and I can't say the second word on radio, but if anybody wants to know, just give a call or email me, and I'll tell you how to find Tony Falco's playlist, because there's some really good stuff on it. And I'm going to start off right now with this first track, and this is on Tony Falco's playlist, and this is in honor of him. He is missed and loved. Let's take a listen to Mick Flannery, 91.3 WVKR Independent Radio, Poughkeepsie.
All right, and we are live in the Pace Studio in downtown Atlanta, Georgia. We're here with Mick Flannery today. Thanks for coming through.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, we're excited to hear 4 songs today, 3 of which are from your newest self-titled.
All right, so something incorrectly played. Let's try it again. Live radio. Let's try this track by Mick Flannery.
I see you running with your friends. I don't know why it comes to mind. I think of you before our time. You go all happy on your way, out at night to meet the boys, neon lights and heady noise. And what you reckon, baby? Did it cut it? Did it work? Or did pretty boys and pretty words bring more trouble than they worth? And now another asking for your hand. You don't know if you have it in your heart to roll the dice again. I'd rather be the fool. You know is it true? Letting go and win or lose and all down to you. I'd rather be the I love you for all that you fought. I love you for your bitter twist, your gentle hand, your hopeless kiss. Oh, I look into your eyes. I read a mind and I can tell it's me that's being read very well. What you reckon, baby? Anybody put 2 words or draw it up in someone's mind? How it feels when we lock eyes. And now another asking for your hand. You don't know if you have it in your heart to roll the dice again. I'd rather be the fool. You know is it true? Letting go and win or lose and all down to you. I'd rather be the fool. I tell myself I wish I'd met you sooner in the game, that our hearts would still have suited, and our love would play the same. But I don't know, baby, might I shouldn't say. I cannot time the light, I cannot time the pain. I'd rather be the fool. You know is it true? Letting go and win or lose and all down to you. I'd rather be the fool.
91.3 WVKR Independent Radio, Poughkeepsie, New York. Mick Flannery, track called Fool. And that is on Tony Falco's playlist. Tony Falco passed away October 28th of this year, and he's the owner of the Falcon in Marlborough. So as a dedication to him, he'd been a guest on the show several times and a huge supporter of live music and supporting living artists. I just want to carry that on each and every show that I do here. So I want to read a poem for Tony that was written by Decora, who is a rap artist, and he's a performance poet. He's based right in Beacon, New York. So this is, quote, "Dear Tony, I said I wouldn't cry, but I lied. My tears walked straight out of my eyes. I walked onto the stage and wrote you a page, and even my pen sighed. You were a man who stuck to his word, and that can't be bought. There's nothing like hands to carry the wisdom of fulfilled hearts. When others cower in callous, your palms stayed soft. So many came to pay you attention at such a low cost. The sight of thousands who showed in your memory tells the tale of a legend who lived his passion, daring to fail. So to you I raise my mic, to a true hero, a friend. My brethren, my brother, I'll see you again. Love, Decora, unquote. Tony, you're missed. Thank you for everything that you've done for the music, the musical community, and the Hudson Valley. We are blessed to have lived in the same lifetime as you. Now, final show here of the year. I want to say hello. Oh, Caroline, let's get you on the mic. Let's say hello to our cousin Doris in Germany.
Oh my gosh. Hi.
Hi, Doris.
Across the pond.
Across the pond, my cousin in Germany. It's, technology sometimes can be so beautiful that it's 10 o'clock or just after 10 o'clock there, and it's 4 o'clock here. We're thousands of miles apart, and she can actually hear us live on the radio.
Yeah.
Getting ready for Christmas. Herman had a little Christmas party at the factory today.
Yes.
Yeah.
It looked so fun.
It did look so fun. I hope we can go visit them next year.
I know, me too. But you never know.
I know.
You never know right now.
We missed the past 2 years. We were supposed to go see our family in Germany in May of 2020. That didn't happen. We were supposed to go in May of 2021. That didn't happen. We are waiting to see, just like the rest of the world is. But thank you, Doris, for tuning in. Frohe Weihnachten und ich rufe dich in ein paar Tage an. Tschüss. I love her. All right, so this is the final show of Local Motion of 2021, show number 302. My beautiful, talented daughter, Caroline, is here in the station with me, my first guest since March of 2020, in person, I should say. I've had all my guests have been on the phone, and it's so nice to have you here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So nice.
So nice. So, Caroline, you are a violinist. You are a Hudson Valley musician. That's what this show is based on. When did you start playing the violin?
I think, it was actually 5th grade, I think.
Was it?
It was like the summer between, I started playing the summer between 4th and 5th grade. Like, that's when I started private lessons.
Yes,
because I had gone to a school in 4th grade where like strings weren't offered.
Right.
So
right. And then you switched halfway, and then in the second half of 4th grade. Yes. And then why the violin?
Oh my God. This is always like surprising to people because like now I'm pursuing it as a really serious thing. But my dad actually, I remember vividly, I would be in like 3rd grade and he's a big eBay guy. So he would browse on eBay and like look at kid drum kits and stuff because, he wanted to jam together because my dad's a bass player. And I just, as a girl, as a kid, I really was not interested in the family band idea. So I just wanted to choose like the instrument that could get me the farthest away from that possibility happening to me, which now has backfired because my dad and I play out together on most breaks that I'm home. But that's actually why I chose the violin.
And the funny thing is you actually stuck with it.
But I ended up really liking it. So that's what matters.
What was the first song that Kate taught you how to play?
I didn't learn the Suzuki method, but I started with the Twinkle Twinkle in the Suzuki books, the first Suzuki book.
Oh.
Yeah.
And then you went immediately into classical. And then I remember, boy, did we get lucky, because I don't think if this organization existed, you would be where you are today as a violinist. I remember taking you for a physical to the doctor.
Mm-hmm.
And
everyone's favorite. Every kid's favorite.
And your pediatrician said, Caroline, are you playing any instruments? Mm-hmm. And you tell the story.
I don't know. I was just like, I play violin. And her son had been a part of the Stringendo organization. He was in the Strawberry Hill Fiddlers. I don't know if he was in the orchestra program, but like it's one big like umbrella organization is Stringendo, Hudson Valley Orchestra School. And she recommended that I join that. And it's a group that meets every Saturday. I think they changed the location, but it's in the Hudson Valley. And it meets every Saturday. There's about 7 groups ranging
all
for
different
all
levels.
different skill levels, all ages, like 2nd grade through 12th grade, I think. So yeah, I started that when I was in 5th grade also. And I did it all the way through high school, all the way through graduation.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, and that's called Stringendo. It's in typically Wappingers Falls is where it's been. That's where we used to go every Saturday, and I think that school shaped you so much.
Oh my God, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, what they did. I mean, the playing, the caliber of players there were. She started, like she said, 5th grade, and she was in the beginning orchestra for 2 years, and then she ended up in Vivace for 2 years too. Vivace, excuse me.
Yeah.
And
come on,
I know you think I should have this stuff down by now. So Stringendo was an orchestra music school that definitely boosted your violin playing, along with, of course, Kate Rimpf, your private lesson teacher.
Oh, yeah.
And those 2 things. And then you started, high school, and then everybody gets all nervous because it's like, what do you want to be when you grow up? What do you want to do in college? And what made you decide to pursue music performance as a major?
Okay, well, when I was in high school, my high school thought process, I originally was like into both doing music education and performance, which is why I chose Ithaca, because it was the best place you could go for strings, at least for a music ed degree. And they also had a great, I really love my teacher, Susan Waterbury, which is so why I chose the school, the combo of those 2 things. But in general, to pursue music, I would say a lot of it had to do with Stringendo, because I feel like so many of the people I had a genuine connection with during my time in high school and before my life at Ithaca. So many of the people I was able to resonate most with was people in Stringendo. Mm-hmm. And, we were we were pretty on the scene. We went to the ASTA National Conference.
Yeah, you did.
We would always win stuff like that. It was just such an all-encompassing experience. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
and here you are now. You're a senior at Ithaca College.
Yes.
And you also decided to add a second major to your music performance.
Yeah, which is insane, but yeah.
But it's a good thing.
Do that.
It's a good insanity thing.
No.
And so instead of graduating in May of this coming year, you will be graduating
in December.
A year from right now. We're going to have a party.
I know.
It's party. We will have a college graduate on our hands. Now, tell me about classical music. You just performed your senior recital, which is a really big deal, and a lot of months and months of preparation and stress and all of this. Tell me about the pieces that you performed at your senior recital, which was at the end of October.
Yeah, so the senior recital, it's an equivalent of a senior thesis, but for a music performance degree. It's your capstone experience, essentially.
Uh-huh.
Not essentially, it is. But I got really into branching out from the typical classical canon just because I think it's so important, especially being a musician in the 21st century.
Amen.
And there's just so much great music out there that has just really underperformed. So most of the stuff on my recital, hadn't been performed at IC in years, at least the whole time I had been there. And I didn't want it to be a recital where people knew the music. I wanted to introduce totally new stuff and get out of my comfort zone too, because when you're raised in the classical upbringing of music, there's the standards, and you've got to check the box on them, and like that's just kind of the cycle of it. But so for the going into my program, the first bits were all like solo music. So I played Rhapsodies No. 1 and 2 by Jessie Montgomery. She actually just had a residency this summer at the Fisher Center at Bard, where I worked, and I got to meet her. And she's an amazing composer, like one of the best up-and-coming string composers. You should check her out if you're into like string music.
Jessie Montgomery.
Yeah, she's great. So I did her first 2 Rhapsodies. There will eventually be 6, but so far she has written the first 2. And then I did a pretty short blues piece, but I wanted to do something like that.
And what was
I
that?
really got to, but it was Louisiana Blues Strut by Coleridge Taylor Perkinson. He lived and worked mainly in Manhattan, so not too far away from the Hudson Valley. And then the final piece on the first half, I did the first 2 movements of Histoire de Tango by Piazzolla with my good friend Justin Lindsay on guitar. That was really fun.
Justin, shout out.
I know. Shout out to Justin.
You guys sounded so beautiful together.
Yeah.
You really did. It complemented each other so well.
Yeah.
And to see a guitar and a violin, it's not a common thing.
Yeah, that's also was important to me.
Right.
To have too, like an interesting collaboration.
Right.
Because collaborative playing, like especially with a lot of why I chose to do music being rooted in a string orchestra program that really focused on chamber music, like stringendo, and then I got really into chamber music playing. Even went to like summer festivals for it early in my college experience. Like collaborative playing is like the essence of why I love it. So I got to do that, and then the whole second half was the Strauss Violin Sonata with my good friend, one of my first friends at Ithaca, Michael Blum, on piano.
And you guys came out with matching Converse.
I know.
I loved it.
That was our
I
little...
loved it. I loved it. And you and Michael played beautifully together. It was a really wonderful senior recital. And I'm so glad you must be so happy that you had it over with already. Like the pressure and the stress.
Yeah, but it definitely comes with mixed emotions because in my opinion, it was really, I wanted to have it in the fall for that reason. So I didn't have it looming over my head like, oh, how's this going to go? Oh my God.
But now you're going to miss it and do something else.
I know. Well, because now I was like, oh man, thank God this is over. So stressful. But then like a week later, I'm like having such a hard time practicing new stuff. And I'm like, oh God, like, am I going to do another one? I don't know. So maybe I will.
Time will tell. Now, as any good mother or anybody that saw this beautiful recital, I still would love it if you uploaded it. You do have a YouTube channel, Caroline Ryan, and people can also follow you on Instagram. Caroline Ryan Music is your Instagram music page. And I really hope that you upload your senior recital.
It's in the works. It's in the works.
Well, folks, I'm going to work on that before she goes back for semester number whatever it is. Yeah, the second semester next. So, it was a beautiful recital. I was so proud of you and just really well done. It was unique. It wasn't the ordinary classical thing, and it was just a really cool piece. So, bravo.
Thank you.
So let's play some Christmas music because 'tis the season.
Yes.
And we will keep talking in between songs. Everything we're playing here on LocalMotion today, it is 4:24, by the way. I am your host, Rita Ryan, here with my daughter today, Caroline Ryan, show number 302 on these airwaves. And let's keep the music flowing right now. This was new music just recently sent to me. You know the band, Orleans, but you may not know they've never released a holiday album before until this year. Let's take a listen right here, right now on 91.3 WVKR Independent Radio, Poughkeepsie, New York.
I remember finding you at Christmas, your eyes as bright as tinsel on the tree. You and I were lonely until Christmas.
Second-hand lighters, headlight dreamers, backseat players, windshield singers, small-town living, love the haters, Main Street beat, drop review shakers. They say we're never gonna grow up. Hand-stamped handshakes, love-drunk tipsy, a map, coke, and a whiskey. Kiss me, strap off her shoulder, feel that fire. Embers in her eyes, gonna burn me higher. They say we're never gonna grow up. Well, they might be right, 'cause we're loud, we're alive, and tonight we're raising something colder. We thought we would one day, but hey, we ain't, 'cause one day still ain't showed up. I guess we're never gonna grow up. Falling too fast, hang on too long, screw what we need, do what we want, leave our mark like black on leather. Don't they know we'll live forever? We're never gonna grow up. Well, they might be right, 'cause we're loud, we're alive, and tonight we're raising something colder. We thought we would one day, but hey, we ain't, 'cause one day still ain't showed up. Oh, I guess we're never gonna grow. Kickers, speakers, windows all the way down. Ain't getting old if it ain't old now. They say we're never gonna grow up. We're never gonna grow up. Well, they might be right, 'cause we're loud, we're alive, and tonight we're raising something colder. Thought we would one day, but hey, we ain't, 'cause one day still ain't showed up. No, we're never gonna grow up. No, we're never gonna grow. No, we're never gonna grow up.
.3 WVKR Independent Radio, Poughkeepsie, New York. We are so lucky this is radio and not video.
I know. Oh my God.
Oh, we're having fun. We were dancing, me and Caroline. That was Ian Flanagan we just heard, the single he released with Blake Shelton. Ian Flanagan. My goodness, where does one even start? So he came on the show here probably about 5 or 6 years ago, right when I started my show. And I met Ian at an open mic invitational at Town Crier in Beacon, and just immediately drawn to his voice. So Ian, since, he's on the national spotlight scene. He's from Saugerties, and he was on The Voice, NBC's The Voice, and made it to the third runner-up and was in the finale. And Ian Flanagan was my first guest here on LocalMotion on January 6th. And he was also a guest here on LocalMotion in 2021 on July 21st. By the way, if you have any interest in any of the interviews that we've ever done here, you can subscribe to the YouTube channel, which is LocalMotion on 91.3 WVKR. Also, if you do streaming, if you're on Spotify or Apple Music, you can subscribe to Spotify, to LocalMotion, and look up all these old interviews. But Ian Flanagan, what a What a success story, right, Caroline? Mm-hmm. Yeah, really, really great. So we just heard Grow Up, which features Blake Shelton, and that was our hometown guy, Ian Flanagan. We also heard new music, Christmas music, holiday album by Orleans. It's called New Stars Shining, and the track we heard is I'm Coming Home for Christmas. And $1 from every CD sold will be donated to St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital. You can always visit OrleansOnline.com. John Hall will be my guest here, John Hall from Orleans, in January, so stay tuned for that. We'll start off the year. Got a great lineup. I'll tell you more about that later. So we heard holiday music by Orleans, their first ever holiday album released. All these decades that they've been together, they finally just released a holiday album. Speaking of new releases, everything we're playing today, the show goes on till 6 o'clock, is all new music released this year by Hudson Valley musicians. This lovely and talented woman was a guest on the show probably about 2 months ago. Let's take a listen to new music by Sarah Parada right here on 91.3 WVKR, Independent Radio Poughkeepsie. We'll come back. We're going to talk some more with Caroline, today's in-studio guest. 91.3 WVKR.
Hold on, speed racer, go slowly now. You're spinning to the finish with the pedal down. Live or die, either way. The world keeps turning round. Tremble like a flower about to wake. We keep pushing up against this until we break. Win or lose, either way, I keep coming back for more. Watch as I rise up. Right out of the firestorm. Watch as I rise up. Right out of your firestorm. Right out of your They remember the girl in the tracksuit, the moment she blew them away. Nobody saw the train wreck. If they had, would it have ended the same? Oh, Dolores, they're here again. Run the water, shut out the day. Everyone's fighting a battle you know nothing about. Oh, Dolores, swallow the pain. Swallow the pain. Your mother came out to New York to get you, saying come back to your old little room. You look tired and trying to hold it together, and it was all too much too soon. Oh, Dolores, they're here again. Run the water, shut out the day. Everyone's fighting a battle you know nothing about. Oh, Dolores, swallow the pain. Swallow the pain. You were found in your favorite pajamas, up there on the 14th floor, and nobody saw it coming, but you did all those years before. Oh, Dolores, they're here again. Run the water, shut out the day. Everyone's fighting a battle you know nothing about. Oh, Dolores, oh, Dolores, oh, Dolores, they're singing your name. You tried to warn us, but now it's too late. Everyone's fighting a battle you know nothing about. Oh, Dolores, swallow the pain. Oh, Dolores, swallow the pain. Oh, Dolores, swallow the pain.
.3 WVKR Independent Radio, Poughkeepsie, New York. They are called The Wandering Hearts. They're from the UK. The song Dolores. Yes, this is a Hudson Valley music show, but The Wandering Hearts were recorded by our local recording engineer, David Barron, and he recorded, mixed, and produced this song that we just heard, Dolores. And David Barron has worked with so many incredible people. I play him a lot, either songs that he performs on or has recorded, produced, and mixed. Last week we played a track by David Barron for the Lumineers, their new single, The Bright Side, or Bright Side, the full album is being released, I think, next month. And David recorded, mixed, and produced that as well. So we are lucky to have this recording maestro in our area, David Barron Music. If you haven't looked him up, check him out. He's worked with Shawn Mendes, the Lumineers, Shania Twain, Lenny Kravitz, now the Wandering Hearts. He works with Simon Felice. They produce a lot of great music. And David is also an incredible musician himself. David Barron. And we heard Sarah Parada, brand new music from her, the album called Blue to Gold, and we heard track called Firestorm. Sarah Parada will be performing at the Falcon the beginning of January. Check out liveatthefalcon.com for info for Sarah Parada's upcoming show there. And David Barron, you know David. Oh, hold on. Let me get you back online there.
Hello. Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
I do know David.
David.
Great guy.
Yeah. He's an incredible musician. Today I'm being joined in studio by my daughter, Caroline Ryan, who is also a musician. She is a violinist and a senior at Ithaca College, home for winter break. And that makes a mama pretty happy that you're home.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it does.
Yeah. So even though these crazy times, there's nobody I'd rather be sequestered with than you.
Oh, very sweet.
So lots of great music. So Caroline, you performed your senior recital. You are being trained classically on the violin.
Yes.
And you tried a little bit of cello here and there, and tried a little bit of, ukulele. Anything else you're going to think you ever want to?
Definitely mandolin.
Oh, yeah, huh?
Definitely mandolin, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's the same tuning as a violin.
Right.
I'm really into, who doesn't love Chris Thiele, am I right?
Oh, God.
Not that I would ever be up to snuff, but I just mean, I love the Punch Brothers. I love that whole, sphere of music, too. I'd love to, break into that more of that bluegrass.
If Daddy is listening and doesn't know what to buy you for Christmas,
oh yeah, sure,
mandolin.
Oh my gosh, yeah, I'll take it.
But an acoustic mandolin.
Yeah. Oh my God, this is a funny story.
Yes,
actually, again about my dad. So he has a real big kick for acoustic electric instruments for me, or just straight up electric ones. So my first violin, as I was saying earlier, as he was an eBay guy, was a Barkus Berry. It's the same violin that Simi Stone plays, who's a local Hudson Valley artist, but it didn't work so well just with what I was doing. And then I remember, I think it was my 12th or 13th birthday. It's one of the funniest pictures of me, but he got me this mandolin that looked exactly like a Firebird guitar, but it was totally non-functional as an acoustic instrument, like a full-blown electric guitar mandolin. And it was just hard for me to just because of how I was used to making music with my violin.
And at that age too.
Yeah, it was just hard for me to appreciate it. So
yeah.
I let go of it pretty quick.
Right. But Ed, if you're listening,
I totally would get into mandolin.
Acoustic mandolin. Just saying, if you don't have any ideas for Christmas, I don't know. You can run to Alto or wherever you could get that now. But anyway, those are just ideas. But yeah, mandolin. That's a beautiful instrument.
Yeah.
And speaking of Chris Thiele, we did see him at Lee Von Helm Studios in Woodstock in May, and boy, was that incredible.
Oh, he's just the best.
He truly is. He was one of the last concerts I saw right before the pandemic started. I saw him do his show. He had a radio show on NPR. And I saw him do that show live at Town Hall in New York City. I'm talking the end of February, right before of 2020, right before everything was locked down. And boy, oh boy, whew, what a treat. Yeah, no, Chris Thiele is amazing. So, so it's 4:47. You are tuned into LocalMotion, and the show we're playing all new music from the Hudson Valley that was given to me or sent to me this year. So I just want to honor that. I used to do a top 10 list, but then I realized that's a bunch of BS and it leaves out way too much good music. So I don't do top 10. So we're going to squeeze in as much music that was released this year here on the show today. We're here each and every Wednesday from 4 to 6 p.m. And let's take a listen now to new music by John Burdick right here, right now on 91.3 WVKR Independent Radio, Poughkeepsie.
It was nobody's fault, just a little palsy drift of the pulse. Phase went to numb, it was normal, of course. Was it assault? The unison waltz. They tried the stairs, tried the floor, tried the walls. One engine surged, one engine stalled, sputtered and coughed. Your science, your arts, your parts and gestalt. You're daring, you're bearing your balls. Suddenly a halt in a unison waltz, and everyone said it was nobody's fault. Just a little palsy, drift in the pulse. Phase went to null, it was normal, of course.
91.3 WVKR, independent radio, Poughkeepsie, New York. People know that song, and they're probably saying, Rita, I thought you were only playing new music today's show. Well, this is new music. It's newly released. January of 2021, John Sebastian, along with Arlen Roth, released an album called Explore the Spoonful Songbook and Daydream, which we all heard from the Lovin' Spoonful. And so it was released in that manner this year. So it is a new release. John Sebastian was a guest here on the show on November 3rd. And boy, that was one of the highlights. I've had many highlights here this year, as I have all the past 6 years that I've been here. I'm looking at the guest list of the people that were guests this year, and it blows my mind, quite honestly. I really am amazed. And John Sebastian, you know, he lives here in the Hudson Valley, and he's a legend. He's an absolute American icon. And I've been wanting him to be on my show for several years. You know that, Caroline. Yeah. And then all of a sudden I saw he was playing at Bearsville Theater in Woodstock, contacted the publicist there and said, hey, would he possibly be interested in an interview? And he actually was. And I spent some time on the phone with John Sebastian, and boy, that was pretty cool. It's like a piece of American history. Yeah. Yeah. The Lovin' Spoonful, Caroline, is kind of like a Beatles version, the American version of the Beatles, because they had a lot of hits back then in the 60s and 70s. And, you know, it's pretty cool stuff. So John Sebastian was who we heard. We also heard music by John Burdick, the album Birds and Birds. It's an EP that was released this year on Sub Family Records, Unison Waltz. You can contact John and buy his music at johnburdick.bandcamp.com. Bandcamp is a great site that supports artists and supports musicians, and it's check it out, Bandcamp. Caroline, hello.
Hi.
You're there. It's
right
almost
here.
5 o'clock already. Can you believe an hour has almost flown by?
No.
Wow. So you're on break now from college, from Ithaca College, and just got done with your senior recital. What is it that you're going to work on next? Do you know yet?
Music wise?
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, I'm obviously in orchestra next semester, so the IC Symphony Orchestra, that's also been like a pretty big part of my college experience. Meets 3 times a week, 2 hours.
Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 2 to 4.
Exactly. Oh
See?
my God, right on the money.
I love it. I've done my homework.
Yeah, or just heard me complain enough. But yeah, I'm going to be in orchestra again. We're playing a few big pieces.
Like what?
I know we're doing a Tchaikovsky symphony. We're going to play for the Martin Luther King Memorial Concert right when the semester starts. Haydn Symphony. Yeah, I don't know a bunch of the specifics, but it should be good. Like I was saying, with being sad with my recital being over so soon, I might do a more way more low-key one. But I don't know if I should even say that on live radio.
Yeah, well, you're not committing. It's a maybe.
I just feel like it would be a really nice culminating experience, and I would do more like just fun, funky stuff, you know? Right.
Absolutely. Yeah. And yeah. Now, I know you'd also someday would like to go back into the recording studio a little bit, right?
Yeah, totally.
And record some music on the violin. And
yeah, I've been lucky enough. I have a few of my really good friends are SRT, sound recording technology majors at IC, and they always have like a bunch of projects and stuff that they have to fulfill as part of their degree. So I've been really lucky to get definitely a lot of experience playing in sessions for people there, and they've all been a lot of fun. I haven't had a bad experience, so I've really loved getting to do that too. Yeah. So I do get, even though it is a classical program, like I get to mix it up here and there with stuff like that,
which is fun.
Awesome.
And it diversifies you as a musician also.
Yeah.
So yeah, good stuff. Now, you and I both know Jessie Lee.
Yes. Oh my God, our hairdresser.
She's our hairdresser.
She's great.
And she's a kick-ass musician as well who released new music this year. She was with the group known as Jessie Lee Montag, and she came out with this new album. How about we play a track of that, Caroline?
Sounds good.
All right, let's take a listen. New music, Jessie Lee Montag, the album called Hooked, right here, right now on 91.3 WVKR.
Come on, once more, just a 9-9 knocking on my front door, and I wonder why, and I wonder what for. And I let her in, I said, where you been? And it's been so long, just keeping it in, and I've been so strong, and I wonder what it's for. And I lay myself down on the street, and I lay myself down at your feet, and I lay myself down on me. Get on me. Get on me. And I sit right back and share a few laughs. Come up for air, we forgot to ask. And that bitter stare, it leads us down that broken path. Relax and breathe, she said to me. We walked for miles, but you never did see an aisle. At the aisle of the deeper blue of frozen sea. And I lay myself down on the street, and I lay myself down at your feet, and I lay myself down. And I lay myself down on the street, and I lay myself down at your feet, and I lay myself down.
I could hold you tonight. It's been so long since I'm feeling alright. Wish I could feel your touch. It's been so long since I felt like much. If you were here, I wouldn't done what's done. If you were here, I wouldn't have run.
91.3 WVKR Independent Radio, Poughkeepsie, New York. Brand new music. Dylan Doyle, Too Late to Turn Back Now. He released a new album this year as well. Dylan Doyle, young, 22, 23, a little older.
I don't think he's 22, but
No?
I think like mid-20s.
Mid-20s? Okay. So I don't know that he's that old. But anyway, he's young and he's a heck of a performer, one hell of a guitarist and songwriter. And he really, so much fun to see live. He just played his final Hudson Valley show, at least for a little bit, at Town Crier last week. And he's headed out to L.A. for a little bit. So let's see what happens to Dylan Doyle out west. Look forward to
We'll miss you.
watching. Yeah, absolutely. We'll be watching
Wishing you the best.
watching his travels go. We also heard brand new music, Jessie Lee Montague. And Jake was the group that she was formerly with. Jessie Lee Montague .com is her website. Brand new album, and I really like this. Been playing it a whole heck of a lot. So your dad sent over this picture that we really should discuss because
should.
you came up with like the best Halloween costumes,
I was one of those kids.
but had nothing to do with me, but everything to do with your dad.
Yeah. Well, it was like a joint effort every year. I wouldn't say it was me being so... Look at him. Like, I wish you guys could see the picture, but it's this picture of... Maybe we'll like post it on Facebook after the show.
Okay.
To give like context.
Yes.
You know, but it's this picture of me. So I dressed up as a Ampeg amplifier for Halloween one year.
And really cool with like
It
real
was
switches.
really, truly well done. We spent hours making this. It was like a big cardboard box that I was in. Like, we had the full control panels, like full spray paint operation going on. And there's a really funny picture of my dad and his bass like plugged in to me as the amp. And I remember, God, I think it was, I don't know how old I was. I think I was
going to say 5 or 6. No.
5?
Maybe.
No, not 5.
I don't know. 6, 7?
Let me look at this.
You were 6 or 7. You were young. You were
Yes.
young. Yes.
Yeah, but
Okay.
it's like a huge B-15, like crazy. And I remember we went to this costume contest, like in Woodstock, and I like won this costume. And there's all these Woodstock kids with this Hyde Park girl just showing up in this big amp and winning the grand prize.
The greatest costume ever.
Kind of
You really
ridiculous.
should post that photo later.
I know,
It was
I know.
great.
It is. It's
and
fun.
one year you were an Apple record.
I was Abbey Road.
Yes. Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. There were always some really good Halloween costumes. Your dad was really good with that stuff for sure. For sure. So Caroline Ryan is my guest here today on Local Motion. It's show number 302. I am your host, Rita Ryan. This is the final show of Local Motion for 2021. And we're going to take a couple of weeks off, which is what I typically do the end of the year. And then we start her up again in 2022 in a couple of weeks. So we'll talk more about guests coming up and guests that we've had. So, yeah. So speaking of guests that was on the show this year, Mr. Brian Mitchell was on my show, and he was on the show. Let's see, where was he? I can tell you that he was on the show on September 1st. Brian released a new album this year called Songs from the Lower East Side. And I love this album. 12 tracks on here. Great musicians playing with him, including Sean Pelton, Zev Katz, Fred Walcott, and Chris Cupetta. And Brian Mitchell, part of the Levon Helm Midnight Ramble Band, as well as the Wait Band and Fat Boy Knuch, and plays out with a bunch of great people. So he'll be playing out tonight, as a matter of fact, in Woodstock at Colony. You do have to be vaccinated and show proof of vax and wear a mask if you're going out. colonywoodstock.com. You can get info about tonight's show with Brian Mitchell there. Let's take a listen to a track of his now. How's that sound, Caroline?
Sounds good.
All right.
Good.
Let's go for it. Here's Brian Mitchell, brand new music from 2021, 91.3 WVKR, Independent Radio, Poughkeepsie.
can't stand up, you can't get up off your seat. The music's no longer playing, but you're still tapping your feet. This joint looks familiar, but you're not sure where you are. I thought you'd been everywhere, but you never left this bar. Take a look around, son, your friends are all gone. You wanna keep on going, there's really nothing going on. Now take one last look, I think you finally know this party is over. It was over a long time ago. A long time ago. You called up all your friends, see if anyone's still up, but nobody ever answers, cause they've all had enough. You find a new place to go, maybe meet somebody new. You can tell all those stories about the things you used to do. Take a look around, son, your friends are all gone. You wanna keep on going, there's really nothing going on. Take one last look, I think you finally know this party is over. It was over a long time ago. Into the mirror, tell me, what do you see? The reflection don't look nothing like the man you used to be. You find there is the end, there's nowhere left to go. No one around here cares enough to want to tell you to go home. Take a look around, son, your friends are all gone. You want to keep on going, there's really nothing going on. Take one last look, I think you finally know this party is over. It was over a long time ago. A long time ago. This party was over a long time ago.
Seneca flowed, fed the Finger Lakes, and all the life beneath. But the river slowed, waves don't break, they just hang on in the heat. Carry it along, carry it along, yeah, they carry it along. What's that now she speaks? Burdens we all bear. And oh, I grieve to be the lonely ear, but I'll listen and I'll listen. Carry it along, carry it along. Will you come alongside? It's one long life. Will I carry it alone? is filled with fear. I cannot tell if the true love of one girl is enough to let you heal. Carry it alone, carry it alone. Will you come alongside this one lone light? Carry it alone, carry it alone. Will you come alongside this one lone light? Or will I carry it alone?
91.3 WVKR, Amy Helm, Carry It Alone, brand new album, What the Flood Leaves Behind, that was released this year. Also heard Brian Mitchell's Songs from the Lower East Side, and we heard This Party Is Over. Brian Mitchell performing tonight in Woodstock at Colony, colonywoodstock.com for info to see Brian Mitchell, and a heck of a lineup tonight in Woodstock, New York. And Brian and Amy, part of the Midnight Ramble band, Amy Helm, of course, and Caroline, you played with Amy Helm.
I did.
How did that come about?
So, God, how did it even come about? I think
we were at the Falcon.
In probably early October, because last fall, this is not this October, this is last
2020.
October of 2020. I was home for the fall because my school was online for the semester. And I forget who we were going to see, but Amy was there.
As an audience member.
Yeah.
Sitting next to us.
Yeah. And I saw her, and I've known Amy just from being in the Hudson Valley and seeing her around and stuff. And she invited me to sit in as part of her residency at the Falcon the following week. So actually the first gig I ever played, not that we're in a post-COVID world by any means, but since that initial lockdown where all music was completely shut off, that was actually my first kind of gig, first time performing anything after that, actually. Because with everything online,
and
there's nothing
Amy
happening.
Helm, you played what song did you play?
I played Atlantic City,
and that sounded so good. It's on YouTube. If anybody wants to follow my YouTube channel, it is on there. Amy Helm playing Atlantic City with Caroline on violin, and boy, that sounded good. That was so much fun.
Thank you. It was really cold.
It was really cold that night. I remember.
I'm actually wearing the sweater I wore when I played it.
And you remember that?
It was really cold. Yeah, I was struggling.
Oh,
but it was really fun. It felt so good to be on a stage with people again.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And playing some great music.
Yeah.
And Amy was very gracious in inviting you. She's a big supporter of up and coming artists and all of that. So thank you again to Amy Helm. And she's got a beautiful new release this year called What the Flood Leaves Behind. All this music and all these CDs, some of us still actually listen to CDs. And those of us that do, a great stocking stuffer idea, CDs, and some of this local music that we're playing here, top-notch, world-class musicians for sure. Speaking of which, we're going to keep it going with one of those right here, right now. Let's play, this is a new release this year. It's called a Rust Belt, and the track we're about to hear is I Ain't Gonna Worry, and this is Scott Sher.